But yeah, it was weird. Like, so, like, yeah, it's just like, nursing hangover stuff. And, I slept all of Monday, like all Monday night, pretty much. Woke up Tuesday morning and I was like, oh, I feel a lot better. I think I'm going to go actually get some shopping done. Walk outside. I'm like, where the fuck did this snow come from? Like, what the fuck? Why is it so cold? Like, I mean, because I've been checking the weather app and it's like, and it hasn't said that it's going to snow or anything. And all of a sudden I'm like, what the?
Mine said it would be cold rain.
Well, you can't get any colder rain than snow. Well, no, freezing rain. Snow is actually, it's not rain. It's crystals that are like expounded. It's water. It's a water, but it's not rain. Because rain is a specific type of water.
Is this really gonna be it?
Do you want to start over with something else?
No.
Okay.
we gotta get going. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
Oh, welcome back, everybody, from the snow time. What is that? I feel like that's my catch phrase. It's like, excitement! Nobody's paying.
Because you can't. I don't know. You're trying to make it topical. Most of the time, nothing happens in our lives. I don't know.
I feel like that would be kind of like my thing as a comic. Is like big energy, and then maybe I was wrong, and I'm just gonna get a little bit quiet. How's everybody doing out there?
Yeah. Hello,
everybody. Oh, I wanted to say, yeah. Wow, my brain isn't working properly right now.
Thank you for joining us today in our theme of regrets.
Yeah,
that's the word I was looking for.
Our duo of regret. Last week we did What Dreams May Come. If you didn't listen and you're clicking on it blindly, you didn't see the title of the episode today, we are talking about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I never realized it was of the. I always thought it was of a spotless mind.
Of the Spotless Mind. Because it's translated from Latin by Alexander Pope, a poem that he wrote.
Pope Alexander.
We're so stupid.
She annoyed the shit out of me.
She is. I mean, she's a troubled young woman in that movie.
Yeah,
she's a great. She does. Kirsten Dunst was great in it though. Like you got to say, like the character that she committed to. Yeah, no, this movie's fantastic.
Yeah, everyone's really good in it.
Oh yeah. Damn it. Wait, I wanted to make a joke about how this because this came out in
2004.
I was like, wait, I almost said 2014. I was like, that's not right. 2004. In like the popularity of the boom of the emo music, the emo music. Like, I'm so old. The shit that I listen to, fuck. But like the song names that just like, or titles that just live forever. Like, My Chemical Romance. I Brought You My Bullets. You Brought Me Your Love. Panic at the Disco. A Fever You Can't Sweat Out.
No, that's the album name.
Yeah, but then even like Taking Back Sunday has like song names called like
Well, I mean, Panic at the Disco. Lying is the most fun a girl could have without taking off her clothes.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. Taking Back Sunday is a Cute Without an E cut from the Team. There's more. I mean, there's a lot from
Curse
My Chemical
Curves. No, that's
a shorter one. My Chemical Romance. Did I ever tell you what I do for a living? Like,
yeah.
Did you ever notice that? Like, that was a huge trend for like emo
Modest
music.
Mouse too.
Oh yeah. Good news for people who like bad news.
That was a.
Yeah, that was a working title for our podcast, guys. Hey, little TJ nugget of history here. We almost were good reviews for people who bad reviews. Good reviews for people who like bad reviews.
Yeah.
And if you guys like that, let me know because God damn it, I was fighting for it for so fucking hard. But I had people fighting against me. But let's stop talking about that. Let's talk about
Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind.
From the lens of regret.
Can we just call it Eternal Sunshine?
Yes, let's just call it Eternal. That's what I've been labeling it with everything.
Okay.
Eternal Sunshine.
I don't want to say that over and over again.
So yeah, it's got an 8.3 rating on IMDb.
Released March 19, 2004.
Yeah, I was gonna get that.
Okay. I don't know. We already said 2004. I just wanted to get it out there.
Okay.
Off the top.
I'm in the middle of my like review stuff. I was also gonna because I believe this is actually the highest rated movie we have reviewed on IMDb.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Because even like I think or is it? I think the next one was like Die Hard at 8.2. Then like Metacritic wise, like The Lobster was super high, and like the Tomatoes, like Die Hard was was the highest before this one, because then on Tomato, this movie has a 92% Tomato meter rating, a 94% audience score, and an 89% Metacritic. So it's all within like the mid high 8s to 9s, you know?
Yeah.
Which doesn't surprise me. I mean, this movie is absolutely fantastic. I love this movie. It's super. It's depressing in a uplifting way.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean by that, though?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, like it's depressing in a real way, not an overly melodramatic way.
No, it's super, like, you can really relate.
Weirdly grounded for what the concept is.
And for being Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll get into all of that. So yeah, like you said, it was released on March 19th, 2004. Its premiere was in LA on the 9th of 2004, March 9th of 2004. Box office wise, it sat number 80 domestically and number 73 worldwide. So that didn't really surprise me. I don't feel like this would have been like a huge worldwide phenomenon type movie.
No,
It's very grounded in American cultural belief stuff, I really feel.
How many movies out of 2004?
You go first this time.
80 out of 200.
Damn, 64.
Yeah, I know. I was like, man, I watched a lot of movies this year. Well, I was even thinking about it too.
I mean,
like,
give or take like maybe plus 4 or 5 more, because there's still like, I see the title, I look at it, I'm like, I don't know if I've seen this movie or if I've seen so many clips from it that I feel like I've seen this movie. So like, I'm only marking down like legit, like I have a bank memory of watching this
no, I do that
from
too.
beginning to middle.
Yeah,
okay.
I do that too. But yeah, 80 out of 200 for me. I was very surprised.
Damn, good. Cheers to you, sir.
All right. Well, I was even like looking at the top of 2004, Shrek 2, Prisoner of Azkaban, Spider-Man 2, Incredibles, Passion of the Christ I've never seen and I kind of refuse to. But those top 4, I'm like, I love all those.
Yeah, I think it was like out of the top 10, there was only 2 I hadn't seen. Passion of the Christ was one of them, and let me pull it up real quick. Passion of the Christ and The Day After Tomorrow. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong list. Worldwide.
If I'm gonna guess.
Oh yeah, Day After Tomorrow.
Oh really? You've seen Shark Tale?
Yeah, I've seen Shark Tale.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have really think you had seen Day After Tomorrow and not seen Shark Tale. Shark Tale's pretty good. I watched it not too long ago.
Well, you see, and okay, well, The Day After Tomorrow is another one of those movies where I'm like, I think I've watched that on TBS, but I didn't really watch it. You know? So it's like, how do you not know what The Day After Tomorrow is type thing is, you know, how I feel.
Yeah.
It's like, I know, like, but like, I couldn't tell you scenes in it. So that's why I was like, no, I haven't seen it.
Fair. Like Wolves. Wolves, does that mean anything to you?
Nope.
Yeah, see. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's okay.
Anyway.
Watch me be totally wrong and I'm thinking about a different movie.
Oh, no, it's like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I'm thinking like, is the wolf scene I'm thinking of in that?
You're getting that confused with like, that Liam
Gray. It's Gray. Yeah, Gray. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's where like crash lands on a plane and like gets attacked.
I've never actually seen it. I just know there's wolves, and I just every time I see it, I'm like, taken with wolves.
Taken with wolves. Yeah, a budget of 20 million, gross 74 million worldwide. I think you already said that, but I'm sure. Okay, what?
Yeah.
Get into who make this.
Yeah, let's go into director. Oh yeah. So this was
tickling my lip.
Ooh. So this was directed by sorry, I almost said Michael. That's not how it's pronounced. It's Michel. He's French. Michel Gondry, who really hasn't really directed a lot of movies. He's very numerous music videos. But movies, Be Kind, Rewind, and The Green Hornet were the 2 that really stuck out to me.
And the what?
The Green Hornet.
The remake?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I'm
pretty
pretty sure I read that a couple of times, like in places. You're making Green Hornet.
Really?
Yeah.
How did I miss that one?
I have no idea.
Well, because
Because I thought it was super weird. Like, I was like,
well, because Be Kind Rewind scene, and that makes sense. Silence of Sleep, I think I've seen. It looked really familiar, but yeah, I missed Green.
and then he's done a handful of French cinema as well. But like his biggest thing is music videos, and he's like famously worked with like Beck, Daft Punk, Radiohead, Bjork, The Chemical Brothers, The White Stripes, Kylie Minogue,
Foo Fighters, Lenny Kravitz, Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
And was a drummer for a pop rock band.
Was it Wee Wee?
Wee Wee.
Wee Wee.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the list of music videos is pretty...
It's substantial.
Yeah, it's pretty
Which
intense.
also, thinking about someone who is a director, like has the mind for music directors, and thinking about this movie in particular and how vignette-y it is, you know, and kind of surreal. Like this, it makes sense that like he would have the artistic vision in mind for a movie like this.
Well, yeah, because also the way it's shot too, it almost is just like a really long music video.
Mm-hmm. I guess, yeah, the music in this is great. Did you write down who did the music? I forgot to write it down.
Oh yeah, John Bryan. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Oh yeah, American singer, John Brion, or Brion.
Brian, probably.
Brian, yeah. Songwriter, record producer, and composer.
I mean, is there like what like bands he was in, or
performed with a bunch of people I don't know.
Okay.
The Experts, the Bats, Till Tuesday, the Grays.
Okay, and then
became a film.
Is there any
score.
other movie that we would recognize him from?
Let's see. Hard Eight, Magnolia. Oh, Punch Drunk Love.
Okay, Magnolia.
What is
That's
Magnolia?
Paul Thomas Anderson, isn't it? With Tom Cruise, Magnolia.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know that one. I Heart Huckabees.
Okay, yeah, that was
Stuff like
very
that.
much all.
Hey, Paranorman.
There you go. I mean, very much
Christopher Robin.
in this in a realm like a lot of similar movies in this realm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny that you asked because I had just clicked on. I was like, wait, actually, who did do the music?
Let's go into really quick. Let's go into the writers. And let's do Pierre Bismuth first.
Yeah.
Because he's got a very short connection with it, but
Concept.
yeah, I mean, him and Michelle are friends from the 80s, and this is like the concept and story of this movie was originated from them.
Basically having a bar conversation kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and it like was something that was kind of like they beat it around for a while, and eventually Michelle like sold the idea to a studio where Charlie Kaufman was hired to write it, a screenplay for it, and then I wanted to reread this stuff before we started, just like refresh my mind. So it's kind of like
So basically, Pierre and Michelle had this conversation with a friend of theirs
yeah,
about erasing people from your past, and then there was like this idea they kind of mulled over about sending as an experiment, sending like postcards with someone you know has recently erased you from their memory. Never actually did that.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because that was the performance art.
Yeah, because Pierre Bismuth is a contemporary artist.
Yes, that's actually more what more known for is. Yeah, contemporary artist really is the best. I never really thought of that term, but yeah, very much contemporary artist. He does painting, video, multimedia, everything. Like he's an artist. But yeah, so yeah, Gondry approached Charlie Kaufman with the concept, and it just kind of bounced around for a while, and it was eventually bought. But then Kaufman ended up working on.
Well, and then they wrote together. Michelle and Kaufman wrote the like elevator pitch together, and then later on, Charlie Kaufman actually became the screenplay writer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then it was greenlit, but then Kaufman wanted to work on it was a adaptation. Conventions of a Dangerous Mind and his movie Human Nature before actually getting into this, because also he was kind of like he didn't want it to be connected in any sense with like Christopher Nolan's Memento, because Memento was coming out around the same time, and he's like, well,
I didn't know until doing research. I didn't know that was Nolan.
You didn't know that was Nolan?
Mm-mm.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
Interesting.
And I really like Memento.
Then, yeah.
I don't, you know how I feel about.
I know you have your weird feeling about Nolan, but I'm pretty sure if you watched Dunkirk, you'd probably like that.
Dunkirk looked cool.
Yeah.
Memento was really cool.
I think you just didn't like the whole like open-ended bullshit of Inception.
Funny.
Because like you liked Interstellar, didn't you?
Yeah. Cried.
Yeah.
Hysterically.
Like
He did Prestige too, right?
yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. I don't know.
You like Nolan, dude.
I don't know.
It's kind of like you convincing me about how I like Colin
He's not
Farrell.
my Batman.
Anywho.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever. Anyways.
So yeah, Pierre Bismuth really just kind of he gets the story credit for this because it's kind of like him and Gondry's like brainchild, but it really turned into more of like a Kaufman-esque script.
Could you find any possible? I couldn't. Any drama about
why Pierre Bismuth wasn't part of it?
Like, was it like, yeah, sure, take it. I don't care. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if it was just kind of more of like Gondry through it. It was like we're making sure that Pierre gets his credit due.
Yeah.
Because it was him and I. It was ours.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
I couldn't find
anything about it as well.
Cool.
So projecting, that's what I would assume.
Yeah.
So let's go into what Charlie Kaufman's done.
Yeah.
Which the biggest one, like the only ones that I've seen from him are Being John Malkovich and Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. I've really wanted to see Adaptation. That's the Nicolas Cage, Meryl Streep one. And it's one of Nicolas Cage's like strangest roles because he plays twin brothers who are literally like Charlie Kaufman wrote two characters that split his personality in two.
Oh, weird.
So Nicolas Cage is playing Charlie Kaufman as two different types of characters.
Interesting. I've never seen Being John Malkovich.
Whoa.
Yeah. I've always wanted to, but it's one that I forget about it until it comes up in conversation.
Yeah, we both have movies like that.
Yeah, like I know it.
Yeah, that one actually, you know,
is that John Cusack in there?
Yeah, John Cusack, Cameron Diaz, John Malkovich.
Listen here, fuck face,
dude. Oh my god.
And I think I'm thinking of Ending Things. That's another one of his more recent.
Kaufman.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any of his recent stuff.
He's uncredited for an episode of Moral Oral.
I saw that.
Remember that show?
I really would love to know what the fuck he did on. Yeah, I remember Moral Oral.
Yeah, it was a fucked up Adult Swim claymation about this very religious town, but everyone's like super sinful, but it's all in the closet, quiet, hidden away because they need to be good Christians.
And Oral is the young kid who's being exposed to all this stuff.
It's fucked up, man.
It's so fucking good. It is so good.
It's horrifying. It's a horrifying show.
I love it. Oh man. I don't want to get into that talk. But yeah, Kaufman is really known for like super existential, surrealistic. I would just say, very grounded existential pieces. I guess surreal is a way to describe him because Being John Malkovich is fucking absurd. This movie is pretty surreal. It's like almost got like a magical realism. No, not magical realism. But like, I don't know. It's
a whimsical fantasy to it.
Yeah. But it's so grounded and like, it's, I really, it's kind of like, who am I thinking of? Who the fuck wrote Infinite Jest? God, I'm so white. That's so weird. That's a joke from Cornish, actually. Sorry.
Okay.
Regardless, let's get off Charlie Kaufman, but he's very particular in what he does, and he's a very specific type is a good way to put it. Kind of like Wes Anderson, and people like that all have like their print on stuff.
Nolan,
their thumbprint.
Not to like go back, but like Nolan too. Like.
Nolan's, you see what you're saying with Nolan's kind of I feel like he has like a broader spectrum of stuff.
I think topic wise, but a Nolan film looks like a Nolan film.
Yeah, I see what you mean by that.
Like think even like completely different. Interstellar and Prestige, the look of them.
I actually just watched Prestige again for
that movie's fucking good.
It's so great.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I like Hugh Jackman as kind of like an asshole.
He's great in that movie.
He's a good asshole.
So is Christian Bale. That movie. So is Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, no, but I
thought Scarlett Johansson was in it.
But like Hugh Jackman, who's so nice in like real life, being like a total like crazy person, obsessive crazy person, is awesome. He was really good.
All right, let's move forward. I think actually what's strange is we talked about kind of what I want to talk about for the development of this movie with Pierre Bismuth. So I think we can just go into actors. And I really think
I got to do my synopsis.
Oh, that's right. How do I always forget that?
I don't know, because we always get on a roll, and so
That's
kind of. So I wrote two. One's like a joke.
Okay.
The first one, Carrey can't forgive Winslet for not sharing door and erases her for what she did to DiCaprio.
Yeah, it's not landed.
No, I just like to write it.
That's fair.
Because I had just, while I was like doing notes, a commercial on Peacock came on, and it was a joke about the door thing.
Oh, okay.
And I was getting ready to watch this. I was like, that's weird. They're talking about Winslet right before I watch a movie with Winslet. Yeah.
How weird.
Get fucked. Man erases tumultuous relationship from memory. Long story short. Like, that's the most textbook way to describe this, because this movie is going to be very difficult to explain because it is memory based and it's choppy and it's going back and forth, present time, back in time, future, but then that's actually the present, but then we're suddenly, and like, yeah. So this is gonna be a
we're gonna have a roller coaster.
Yeah, this is gonna
be a
whirlwind.
But yeah, so let's start off main cast. Jim Carrey. And what did I write down for stuff for him? Also, wait, this is our first Jim Carrey movie we're talking about.
That's what I was gonna ask you that too.
I'm pretty sure this is our first Jim Carrey movie. Yeah.
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 Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Liar, liar.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to play a game. So we picked our favorite. We pick our favorite from the main cast.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to try and guess mine, and I want to try and guess yours.
Your favorite Jim Carrey movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
God damn it. The Mask.
Nope. My guess for you is Man on the Moon. I have a quick backup if that's not correct.
I mean, that's close, but I also
Truman Show.
Because I mean that's close.
What is it then? Those are the only two. I was like, it's got to be one of those.
I mean,
Majestic?
That's close. I'm gonna keep saying that's close because I can't choose.
What?
I literally could not. Oh, The Grinch.
No, weirdly enough, that's close.
But okay, like I literally can't choose my favorite Jim Carrey movie. Yeah. Like I would say, like everything he did in the early 2000s backwards is like my favorite.
Even Once Bitten.
Fuck yeah, dude!
Really?
I love that movie.
I didn't think you'd like that.
Yeah,
movie.
when Peggy Sue got married. Fuck yeah! Even though he's got a small role in that.
I think mine's Me, Myself, and Irene.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That kind of surprises me, but it doesn't. Well, because I always forget that you actually really do enjoy the Farrelly brothers, like some of their hit and miss on their stuff, but like.
Well, and also I like his
three sons.
No, well, yeah, but no, I liked that there was a lot of his physicality acting that he used to do, like as Ace Ventura and everything, but like it's super dark.
Yeah.
That's Vegiclean on aisle 5. Like he's just, or a Cable Guy.
I was gonna say, like Cable Guys like really started to really show his darker side.
I like his darker comedy kind of side.
Well, it's weird you brought up. Was like I was actually really curious because I feel like this movie is really the first time that Jim Carrey really played a role where his comedy isn't at the forefront.
Yeah.
Even it's like the next closest one would be like The Truman Show. His comedy is kind of there, but he's just kind of like an easy, fun going guy, The Majestic. Well, I guess The Majestic is the first one. Like the movies that I wrote down before he did this, that I would say his most serious roles were Truman Show, Simon Birch, Man on the Moon, and The Majestic. So he did those four movies before this. And Simon Birch, it's more of like a small role. He just plays the narrator, the older version of the young kid that grew up with Simon Birch, who is a developmentally challenged young man who looked at the world in a very uplifting way. I don't know if you've seen it.
Mm-mm.
It's very moving, actually. It's a wonderful movie. And then The Truman Show, like that's just a heartbreaking movie, really, and you really see like the more dramatic side of him in that, as he's forcing himself to get on the boat. But
That'd
like,
be fun to review.
Yeah, it would be. I would love to do that movie. Yeah. And then with the Majestic, it's very much, it's amnesia, it's mind play. There's no really comedic from it. It's very dramatic from him, but very grounded. And then, like Man on the Moon, he went super method playing Andy Kaufman, like.
Yeah, but Andy Kaufman was such a character of a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just, I don't know. Like, I mean, I would say that probably The Majestic and Eternal Sunshine are probably the two most grounded characters he's played. Because even in Truman Show, he's still like a...
Yeah, and but as he's like revealing, like as the everything's like unraveling around him, he's losing his mind a little bit as he's getting gaslit super hard, and like you can see him kind of like go a little manic, So, yeah, The Majestic in this is probably like the most grounded he's really ever done, and he's strange, and he can do it very, very well.
And I do like him as Professor Egghead.
He's great in Sonic. Yeah, he's like the only reason I really like watching that movie.
I mean, I'm curious for the second one because of
Idris Elba.
Yeah. Does it look like I need your power?
What the fuck was it? Someone, oh God, where was that joke? But someone's like, is Sonic sexy now? Like, it was like female comedian.
Oh.
Like, oh my God, who the fuck said that? Where did I just recently see this? Oh, that's going to bother me.
It'll come to you in the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
We
talked a lot about Jim Carrey. Yeah, let's move forward. He's one of, if you guys can't tell, he's one of both of our favorite actors. Kate Winslet, who we talked about just recently with The Holiday. So I don't think we have to go too much with her. She, Sense and Sensibility, Hamlet, Ophelia, Titanic.
A Kid in King Arthur's Court, which I thought was funny because we also brought that up for another actor, not her.
I don't even remember us bringing that up.
Yeah, I brought it. It was someone like random, like Carl Urban or some shit. I can't remember who it was.
I don't know if I've seen that movie.
A Kid in King Arthur's Court?
Yeah.
It's kid.
Sounds like a Disney.
Yeah, I think
thing.
it's Disney. A kid teleports to medieval times and teaches them about baseball and shit. Butterfly effect. No long-lasting repercussions.
The writers weren't worrying about that shit, were they? All right.
And I guess Winslet, I would say Revolutionary Road.
Yeah.
Was probably my favorite. And then The Holiday, because she was really adorable in The Holiday.
Oh my God.
But Revolutionary Road is
The Holiday.
Intense and really good.
Yeah. I really want to see her in that goddamn HBO Max TV show I've been watching, Ghosts of Maretown.
Oh yeah, she's in that.
Yeah. I really want to watch that
too, yeah.
Let's go into Tom Wilkinson next. How about that?
Sure.
I wanted to actually give like all of the leads.
Yeah, I think we should because that's the thing. I mean, there's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like
6?
7.
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
yeah.
And they're all actually, even if they're side characters,
they're pretty substantial.
They're important
for the story. Yeah. Tom Wilkinson, who's the doctor in this, which I most recognized him from, like Batman Begins as it was Mahoney, right? No, he's not Mahoney. He's
Falcone.
Falcone, thank you.
Yeah.
And The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Green Hornet.
I haven't seen it actually.
Oh, I think he plays like the dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And my biggest one for him is Rock and Rolla.
I don't remember that movie.
That movie's great.
I know I've seen it, but I don't remember it.
He plays Lenny. He's like the mob boss for the, every Guy Ritchie movie has like a head guy. Yeah. Like he's the head guy. Mm-hmm. He's got glasses and he's just this swearing bastard.
That'd be a fun one to rewatch again. And then I think we can go through these guys a little bit quicker though. I have Elijah Wood next on my list. I wrote this in a really weird order.
Yeah, you did.
About it. Elijah Wood is in it as well, which, he's Frodo in Lord of the Rings. He was in Faculty, which is our first episode. In Sin City, Wilfred, the TV show.
Something I probably mentioned it when we did. No, maybe not. Cooties. You ever seen that?
Oh, that's the zombie one, right?
The kid zombies.
Yeah, that movie's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, there's this movie called
Rainn
Cooties.
Wilson, was the coach. Oh my God, that movie's so fucking funny.
It's this movie called Cooties, and it's about a school, and all the faculty get like attacked by all the children have now turned into like flesh-eating zombies, and they have to like fend them off. Super dark, super fucked up.
So good.
but it's really, really, really good.
That's like a top recommendation
for like a zombie movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a like if you like
it's underrated. I mean, no, I should say underrated. It's very underground in a way. It's like overlooked. That's what I'm looking for.
I feel like if you like Shaun of the Dead, you'd like Cooties.
100%. Indigo.
Yeah, like it's pretty fucking funny. It's super dark because they're killing like these zombie kids, but it's
so
fun.
fucking good.
It's really funny.
Oh god. Okay, yeah. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Now I have Kirsten Dunst.
I would. The thing is, after Kate Winslet, I would have said
Mark Ruffalo.
No, I would have said Kirsten Dunst, and then I would have said
Mark Ruffalo.
Elijah Wood.
What?
And then I would have said Tom Wilkinson, and then I would have said
no. Mark Ruffalo has such a bigger role than Tom. Well,
no, he's the doctor that creates the procedure.
God damn it. Anywho.
Anyways, you're wrong. I'm right. Move along.
I want an online poll of who's more important in the movie. All right. So Kirsten Dunst. Have we done a movie with her yet?
We did Jumanji. We didn't release it.
That's right. That was a practice one. Why did I just put SM? What is that? That's not Small Soldiers.
Yeah, it is. Oh no, SM. Spider-Man.
Yeah. I wrote them like, I'll know what that means. SM?
Did you hate when you do that? You do shorthand that you're like,
Virgin Suicides, Interview with the Vampire, Jumanji, Elizabethtown, Melancholia. Like, she's actually as much like, obviously I had a huge
Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Yeah. And Bring It On. I had a really big crush on her growing up. She's fucking gorgeous, fantastic. But she's also like, the thing that I really liked about her was, I felt like she was actually a good actress, and I really liked the comedic roles that she did. Like, I really liked Bring It On when I was younger. I didn't tell all my guy friends because they thought it was a stupid chick flick, and I'm like, this is fucking funny. But yeah, like I've watched a lot of her filmography because I actually think she's like Virgin Suicides is fantastic. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, but I mean, also just like Interview with the Vampire, she's great.
Oh yeah,
that's Claudia.
Yeah, it's like she was like what 12 when they did that.
Little.
Like for like be 12 years old and like be able to.
I want to say she was actually younger, but I don't want to quote that.
Yeah, but like the most impressive thing is for someone as young as she was to really portray like an adult-minded child. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because like in Interview, she really like because as she ages, but she
she's 11.
11, yeah.
Nice.
It's like this character like is supposed to mentally age, but she can't physically age, and she's going insane because of it. And Kirsten Dunst just fucking nails it as a 11-year-old. It's insanity.
Okay, we're there. We're in such different orders. I had to find her again on my cast list.
It's Catherine Bigelow. Is that who she works with mostly, or a lot with? Not mostly, I should say. Who did Melancholia? I'm gonna look that up. You got some people to say, I think.
I was just gonna say too. Like,
Sophia Coppola.
I just thought it was fun that she also was the English dub version for Kiki's Delivery Service. And she was the young voice of Anastasia. I was like, oh,
I just realized that Melancholia is Lons von Trier. It's like, Jesus. Okay, sorry. Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh, she was just the English dub voice actor.
That's actually very. I mean, yeah.
Oh, and Dick. I forgot she was in Dick.
Oh yeah, with
Did we review
Williams.
Small Soldiers?
No.
I really have this weird memory that we did.
I think we just talked about it a lot.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not on my list. Okay, let's get on the Mark Ruffalo. We're really behind right now. We're getting distracted a lot easier these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I know.
Mark Ruffalo, Bruce Banner in the MCU.
Brothers Bloom, Zodiac, Collateral, which I don't remember him in Collateral. I really like that movie. And again, it's so weird how certain things keep coming up, like The Last Castle. Mm-hmm. I've talked about that a couple of times too. It's just like a sign that we got to do it at some point.
Yeah. Put it on the list.
Brothers Bloom would be fun to do.
Well, I mean, this was Mark Ruffalo's rising to fame, kind of, because like I think 13 and 13 going on 30 came out the same time around this year, and he hadn't really done much really before these.
He was kind of late to the game.
Mm-hmm.
When I was looking at his list, he was kind of like already like an adult.
Yeah,
like especially with like Elijah Wood and
he was doing
Kirsten
theater
Dunst
and stuff before he really got big into film.
Did you know Elijah Wood was in Back to the Future too?
No.
He's the
Oh, is it one of
That's
the
a
kids?
baby's toy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I looked it up and I was like, holy shit! I don't know how I never noticed that because he doesn't look any.
He looks like North.
He doesn't look any different.
Yeah.
Like it's always Elijah Wood, just a different size. You know what I mean? Like he's a little bit taller now. Like
He's a Pokemon. He just evolves.
yeah,
into a different
but it
size.
still kind of looks like him. Like yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. That's. I feel like that's good for the cast.
And then honorable mentions: Jane Addams and David Cross.
Oh yeah, David Cross.
Randomly, which I thought was funny too because they were in Small Soldiers together.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I was like, that's kind of weird. And she's like a kid. I don't know, just like.
So yeah, I guess I can get into that a little bit. Oh yeah, let's do that after reviews because that's really more about theme of this movie and whatnot. This movie is very, very mise en scene and very thematic heavy because it's very Charlie Kaufman and Michel Gondry, very much two people that are about the thought of it and the look of it. So what do you got for reviews over there, good sir?
So in Metacritic, there are 40 positive, 1 mixed, 0 negative.
That sounds about yeah.
The first one I picked was the Miami Herald, Renee Rodriguez.
I thought you were going to say Miami Heat. I was like, what? Basketball team interview? What? Sorry.
They wrote, a thoughtful, audacious meditation on love and relationships that finds a group of wildly disparate talents clicking together in perfect unison.
I really like that.
Yeah, I thought that was a very well...
I like how they talked about the different talents like clicking together because it is kind of a strange ragtag cast of characters or cast of actors that you don't
you never put together.
Yeah, like who would ever think of Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet starring opposite of each other and how amazing chemistry they would have?
Yeah,
you know, like.
What bums me out. So like I go through Metacritic, and I think I've explained this before, but for any new listeners, because what they do is they take all these reviews and they put little like blurbs, so it's easy to try and find them. But because what happens with older movies is everything being digital, a lot of the time those pages are taken down.
Yeah.
So you can't read the whole thing.
You just have the blurb.
Yeah, and I really wanted to read the rest of that one, but I couldn't.
Just was
I got a 404 code, so.
That sucks.
And then Michael Srago at the Baltimore Sun. Sorry if I butchered that. Wants to be a this is the mixed one. This is so the only like one. Wants to be a bittersweet comedy about erotic loss and memory loss, but it doesn't have the heart or brain. And they gave it a 50 out of 100.
They needed to watch it again.
Yeah, I didn't really.
It didn't have the heart or brain.
I only picked that one because I was the only one to pick.
Yeah, that I don't. It makes when someone writes something like that makes me it's like, what movie did you watch? Like, I want to being John Malkovich, enter your mind and see what you were seeing.
Yeah, because also it doesn't have the heart or brain.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking about. I was like, how does it not have heart or brain? Like,
I could see you arguing the brain part because of the
the logistics of how someone can erase a memory.
Yeah, or even the long, prolonged, like, you date someone for 8 years, they're just going to erase 8 years of your life without any kind of
that's actually a big thing.
Ramification.
That's like a big note that I have. That's like that's my biggest qualm with this film.
Yeah. And I was just like, okay. But yeah.
And it also makes me wonder how long this place has been doing stuff. It's called Lacuna, right? That's the name of the...
Yeah, Lacuna.
Do you have any other reviews?
No, I just did those two, which I'm glad. I was going to write down more, but we got to actually get into the...
Okay, so Lacuna definition, because I was really curious. Lacuna is a noun. Do you know what it is defined as?
I read it. I forgot.
So
a pit, hollow.
Yeah, I mean, so
Something
it's
like that,
an
right?
unfilled space or interval, a gap, a missing portion in a book or manuscript, anatomy, a cavity or depression, especially a bone. So, like, yeah, like the name of this company being Lacuna, they're creating a gap, a memory gap, for you. That's kind of cool.
Definitely thought out.
Mm-hmm. No, this movie, that's Charlie Kaufman though. He is like so much attention to detail in his scripts and about characters and characterization, and I think that's why these characters are so rich and so diverse is because of Charlie Kaufman. Like he is a great writer. He understands the human mind very well.
Yeah.
So for him to make a movie about erasing the human mind is very on point. So yeah, the name of this movie, as we kind of, I don't know if we actually said that. I think we were making the joke about Alexander Pope, but we didn't actually say that the title of this film comes from that quote. Well, I mean, she says it in the movie, you know, because she's trying to be all smart with the doctor. What's the doctor's actual name? Dr. Hey. Meyer. I'm so Myers-Wake. Wow. Dr. M. Because she says it in the movie. Why?
He says it a lot too.
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm blanking super hard.
Yeah, same. So it's from this.
I want to say it's Myers-Whack.
Myers-Whack?
Let's do Dr. M so we don't sound like complete morons for the rest of the episode.
So the quote from the Alexander Pope a poem, which it's got a famous, it's very well known and it's been like reinterpreted many times. It was like, the poem itself is popular for its use of, one of the first poems for its use of emotion over reason. So like, especially in like Shakespeare, like his soliloquies, obviously there was emotion through his soliloquies, but a lot of Shakespeare in that time, like everything was written within logic. So like as they would be explaining a thing, it would just kind of have this like reasonable idea on why this thought is happening. So like, it just kind of, it was just how things were written in that time. So this is like the beginning of when the Romanticist era was happening with Alexander Pope. Like he's kind of like one of the beginning of the forefathers of it. And the quote from it reads that Mary shares in it, "How happy is the blameless Vestal's lot, the world forgetting by the world forgot. Eternal sunshine of the spotless mind, each prayer accepted and each wish resigned." Which is essentially like the way that I interpret it is, I guess, just like going to like the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind is like this bliss of, you know, this of having the world forgotten of something, you know. It's like, we'll just like erase it and let it be forgotten, and you know, the eternal sunshine, the happiness of this spotless mind, of it not having there be in the mind. Like what is this phrase like?
Ignorance is bliss.
No, not that. I was gonna say out of sight, out of mind. You know, it's like, if I don't see it, if we don't talk about it, it's not a problem.
Yeah, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, I see what you're.
I think you're thinking of ignorance as inherently negative.
No, I'm thinking of ignorance as being uneducated.
Yeah, but that's what I mean by like negative. You can be ignorant of something and not be uneducated. You just don't know what you don't know.
No, exactly. That means you're not educated in it then.
Yeah.
And you're thinking of uneducated as being a negative thing. That was a fun rabbit hole to go down. Because like, yeah, like ignorance is, it's you don't have the know-how of what it is. You're not educated, and that's fine. I'm not educated in a lot of things. I'm ignorant to a lot of things, you know, so that makes me blissful to a lot of things.
I feel like that actually breeds contempt.
Breeds contempt?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
well, you said I'm blissful to a lot of things, but like, let's say something like irritates you, but you have no idea what it goes into make said thing. Why don't they just do blank? Well, because you don't know how to make blank, and making blank is hard, and they can't do it because it's hard.
Which is why I also try not to say blanket statements like that, unless I'm, you know, joking around. I do like to make blanket statements as jokes, but a lot of people think I'm just making a blanket statement, and I'm like, now I just look like an asshole.
Yeah.
Going into Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, very well thought out name for this movie, and it kind of goes into this theme, like, which I think regret is a very, very, very befitting theme for this movie.
Yeah, I think it actually kind of fits better than
what Dreams May Come. 100%. Yeah. So like I kind of wrote into kind of my thoughts is a regret of the erasure of one's memory rather than like processing the emotion. And I think that's kind of like a big statement of like kind of what this movie is really like saying. What Kaufman's like pointing out is like the message, like what are we learning from this movie, you know?
Yeah.
Is we have to go through that grieving process. We have to like go through that. To erase it, you're only going to find or to forget it or to ignore it, you're only going to find yourself to come back to it. You're going to be going in a circle. You're going to keep facing it again and again and again until you face it and you deal with it and either fix it or move on from it.
Yeah.
I feel like, did I get your brain moving?
No, I'm just like, well.
Other themes inside of this movie that I really appreciated was like the anti-manic pixie dream girl idea with Clementine. She's very much a manic pixie dream girl, like trope character, but she's aware of it and she like kind of subverts it where she admits like, I am fucking like, I don't know what I'm going to want the next minute. And I need you to accept that.
Yeah. They kind of take, they do and they don't take out the romanticized idea of like, she's a grounded.
Yeah.
Manic
She's actually a fleshed out character. With the problem with a lot of the manic pixie dream girl trope is that they're generally not a fleshed out character. They are literally just an object of desire, and for the lost male to have to like to find his whimsy in his world of very much monotony, you know?
Yeah.
And Joel is very much that type of character as well. He is trying like he like what did I have like Joel like it? You see that in his mind when he's like.
Joel's Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Joel's Jim Carrey. Like in the moments like when he's trying to escape this whole memory like erasure and whatnot, he's attaching on to the idea of Clementine, and it's a projection of who she is in his own mind because it's not the actual Clementine in real life that we're seeing. We're seeing Joel's interpretation of her.
I thought was an interesting thing too, because I remember when I very first saw this, I could not stand her, but then this time around I realized, oh wait, but that's not her.
No, it's not. It's what Joel's projecting on her, and he's projecting that manic pixie dream girl idea on her super hard, but it's not. But she's also a human, so he's not getting what he wants, so then he's lashing out. Mm-hmm. Which is why he like says that shit to her, you know? Like really, it's kind of like 500 Days of Summer. At the end of the day, Joel's kind of the asshole. And he's learning that and we're learning that as we're seeing his memory get erased. It's like, yeah, she told you what she wanted. She told you the boundaries, the rules of the relationship, you know, like, and she's willing to compromise and she shows that, but he's the one that can't handle of her going out and doing that. And, you know, also she's really not super like from what we see in his like memory of it, very receptive to his feelings about certain things.
And she does some fucked up shit too.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I mean, but people are also fucking, you know, imperfect beings.
The car.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I'm like, that's fucked up.
What is that? I have like kind of like Joel's projection of Clem in his mind does show that he believes she could save him from his monotony. But she is still more than that in the movie. Like the character Clementine is actually still more than that.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, yeah, she's not a manic pixie dream girl, but she has all of these ideas and tropes of that. And I think that's really just popular for the 2000s, you know? Because you have like Garden State and fucking...
I want a whole depiction of what she was going through. That'd be cool.
Oh, and she like when she was having her mind erased,
and just like more about what like she like her like, the procedure being quote unquote like brain damage and making gaps, and her like keep like throughout the movie like when you're seeing the present day her after the procedure and she's confused, and it wasn't until my second one I'm like, of course you're confused. 2 years of your life are missing. 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not a full 2 years. It's just all of the memories of that person in the 2 years.
Yeah, but if you
lived
with someone for 2 years,
like, could you imagine if you had all of the time with you and your partner just
that's
erased?
What I'm saying.
Like, yeah, that would be what 7 years.
In all honesty, I don't really particularly want to try and go through this movie. I kind of want to talk more about the concept of what the movie is.
That's fair, yeah.
Because
that's one of my biggest notes. Is like my biggest question is how are people supposed to function with the large parts of their memory just gone?
Well, like, and that's
like Joel's missing 2 years from his diary, and he's like, I don't remember ripping this out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but like, and that's what's like,
which is also that's what the struggle would be.
So
sorry.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, well, it's what like if people haven't seen it or like the concept is that there's this company that you take all of your belongings that are associated with this person, birthday cards, letters, art,
or dog, or like
whatever.
this a thing,
entity.
Whatever you want. This noun you want erased from your mind.
Yeah, because one guy in the lobby has like a bowling trophy.
Is he trying to get his bowling league erased? Maybe his son. Maybe his like a best friend.
Yeah,
his father,
or even I even went to like maybe to make it more of like kind of a expanded idea. Maybe he's a failed bowler.
And he just wants his career erased from his
mind? Yeah,
mind?
like he peaked and now he feels like, like it's too painful. I was even thinking like you could do that. And then there's a woman in the lobby with her dog. And I was just like, so you take all of these items, and I've had my dog for 7 years. So that would erase 7 years of memories associated with that dog. My dog's fucking everywhere with me. Unless I'm at work, he's in here recording with us a lot.
Yeah.
Like, so that means that even then there would be entire episodes that we recorded that I'd have no recollection
that
of.
I would have to erase off the podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just like, it's such a weird
why
concept.
is episode 63 missing? Like, I don't know, something on Spotify.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's such a bizarre concept. And that's what I was saying about going on Clementine's end, because she keeps saying, like, she keeps having these manic episodes of like really high and then really low, really high, really low. Mm-hmm. And she keeps saying, I'm confused. And it's like, yeah, there are 2 years of your life that big chunks are just not there. It's like, yeah, that would be really confusing because you can't erase it all.
Yeah.
Because even then, it's like the hospital or the clinic is like anything that you associate with the person needs to be removed. So that means, in theory, you would have to move them out of your apartment.
Yeah.
You couldn't have the same car.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You couldn't work the same job.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like even though the actual physical items might be gone, there's still going to be these little trace amounts that are going to be giving you like probably crazy deja vu, but then it just goes flatline. Like it doesn't connect anywhere. Like this is a terrible idea.
100% a terrible idea. But I mean, at the end of the day, also, I think it's one of those things where you just kind of got to eat the carrot.
No, totally.
You know?
But
it's fun to kind of like really, it's fun to think about what the consequences of a procedure like this would be.
But yeah, but even Kirsten Dunst's character realizes that, and then in my opinion fucks it up even more by like sending the shit back to people.
Oh yeah,
I'm like that makes it so much more confusing.
Well, she sends it back to people because she feels like since it's been done to her, and she realizes how unfair it is to everyone.
Yeah, but that's
also really not her choice.
That's not her choice.
Yeah.
It's like you made the decision. That's your decision. You know what I mean? Like for her, some people, I'm sure there'd be two people.
It is also kind of just a big fuck you to the doctor.
That's kind of what I felt more like it was.
Yeah, because it's like,
I'm gonna ruin your career.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah,
because like it was more. I felt like it was more vindictive than helpful.
Oh yeah, I definitely 100% felt that too.
But yeah, like because of that whole thing too, I'm like, I think there's probably two camps in the conversation of the people that, like Joel, were actually, no, I want to hold on to these memories, even though they're painful. You can still learn something from them or still appreciate the moment for what it was. But then I'm sure there are people in the other camp that are like, no. Because even then, if you're listening to the dialogue, there are people like on the phone and stuff that are abusing.
Yeah.
Like her on the phone with a woman. No, ma'am, you can't have that 3 times in 1 month.
Yeah,
We're like, the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Also, how is she aware that she's had it a couple of times? Because you're not supposed to be aware that you've had it done.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, there we go. That's there we go. Where you at, Kaufman?
There's a yep, there's one.
Come on, buddy.
But yeah, even with how this whole, like, it's almost weirdly, like, because the way it's shot, it's like a time travel movie. And the way that they kind of help you figure out where you are in the timeline is with Clementine's hair color.
Yeah.
Which I really liked.
It was a way to track.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of interesting. You know, her hair's blue, which is present.
Which also, I mean, it's not only like a timeline, but also it's a reflection of mood as well.
Yeah, and like, because even in the beginning when they re-meet, what is it? Blue Ruin, Red Menace. Yellow Fever and then Green Revolution are all the names of the hair colors she uses.
Yeah.
And every now and then the hair 100% correlates with the name in the scene.
Yeah.
Like the Blue Ruin, she's a fucking mess.
Mm-hmm.
This is when she's like trying to like figure out what happened to her.
That's all the blue is 100% her present self.
And then the
real self.
And then the Red Menace is when everything's kind of going to shit. Mm-hmm. And their relationship, and again, this idea of Clementine is I think one of my favorite things is whenever he's in this like this procedure, walking through the memories as they're getting erased, is when he's talking to the doctor that he keeps.
So really quick, just so I think it's like important.
Did I go off?
Kind of.
Okay, bring me back, buddy.
Which is good.
Bring me back.
I just really quick. I think it's important to kind of like go with what the process. What this process is like, you're bringing in this stuff. You then sit down in this machine that tracks your brain patterns and your brain memories while they literally put all of these memories in front of you, and you look at them and watch them so they can find the synapses in your brain where these memories live in your brain
to zap them.
So they can make a map. And then after that entire process, which could take there's no way that only takes a couple hours in a day. And then after all of that, you're pretty much sent home with new pajamas. You're given this pill for
super powerful sedative.
Yeah.
Kicked in like that.
That makes you go to sleep. So then they can sneak into your house while you're sleeping and zap your fucking brain, or like where they've mapped everything. And then you wake up and you're not supposed to remember anything. You're not supposed to remember the procedure that you had. You're not supposed to, all that. See, like whatever you have erased. And what the caveat of this is what ends up happening. What ends up being the problem with the erasing is not only the fact that there's drama happening with the doctors and the people that are awake while Joel's mind is getting erased, so they're not paying attention
the doctor
to it.
And the technicians.
Yeah, the technicians, because that whole side B story, while side A story, Joel's mind's being erased, is like there's kind of like there's story A, Joel and his mind being erased. Story B, Ruffalo, Dunst, and the doctor, like that whole thing. And then story C, which is Clementine in real life, while Elijah Wood, stalker boy, is being a creep.
And then D is the relationship between Clementine and Joel.
Like the post part, like the beginning and post.
Yeah, the bits that you're seeing of that.
Are you talking about in the memories, or are you talking about outside of
kind of both. Like seeing what the relationship was.
I feel like that's story A.
Okay.
Because that's all like while Joel's mind's being erased, it's all inside of Joel's mind.
Be so confusing.
Yeah. And like if the drama of the technicians isn't happening, they would be able to catch some stuff and like fixed it immediately. But Joel ends up it becomes lucid.
Mm-hmm. He becomes lucid to the procedure.
Yeah, and that's one like thing I never caught on to until this time, is that I was because I didn't know what the term lucid dreaming was until probably within the last couple of years.
Okay.
And when I saw him start to like repeat stuff and like I was like, it clicked. I'm like, oh, that's the inciting action. That's the conflict in his mind, is he's now become lucid of this happening. It's not just a passive thing. Now that he's lucid and aware in his mind that things are happening, he can fight against it.
Yeah. And I think also an inciting action that needs to be kind of touched base on is that after Clementine and Joel's breakup, he buys her an early Valentine's Day present and goes to present it to her, unaware that she has had the procedure done, so she doesn't know who he is. Mm-hmm. And then he just takes it as like she's being vindictive and mean and spiteful. And he goes and talks to his
in his mind, like he thinks that's something that she would do.
That's totally her.
Yeah.
And then he goes and talks to his two friends about it, who is David Cross and what did I say?
I didn't write her down.
Jane Adams.
Jane Adams, thank you.
And
I wanted to say Aeneas Mitchell. I'm like, no, that's definitely not right.
And they're kind of being like very aloof, like, oh, Clementine, that's just kind of how he is, yada yada yada. And he's heartbroken because somebody that I used to know, somebody. And
I was thinking more Death Cab, but yeah, okay.
change your number. But then finally, David Cross's character, which I really, really enjoyed this interaction.
Yeah.
Where he reaches into this envelope, this drawer, and pulls out an envelope, and on it is a card that says Clementine whatever.
Oh, yeah. That's the only time you
or-
see her last name. That's never said, I don't think.
No, it is.
It is? Okay.
When they talk about like
Oh,
Mrs. whatever. But Clementine has had told in the pear tree, erase from memory, do not bring up the relationship to her again.
Yeah.
But just David Cross is like, what is your fucking solution? Like, because again,
he's hurting. Like, what do you want me to do?
But this goes into the problem with the entire concept.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's like honor system is like your entire fucking like code for this shit.
Like, I can't ignore that my like our like good friend has
Yeah.
been dating this girl for 2 years. He went and saw her, which he wasn't supposed to do, but he doesn't fucking know.
Yeah.
It's like, you gotta know. Like, there's so many things wrong, like ethically, morally, like with this procedure.
100%. Yeah.
And it's just good. And it's like him just being like, fuck it. No, I also, there's a part of me that's like, I don't want to be involved in this. I don't want this
Right.
secret.
No,
I don't want
and it starts then argument with them. He's like, this isn't even fucking about us.
Well, she goes, oh, really, about our shit? And then she like throws the laundry on him. It's like, do your own fucking laundry. I was just like, this is I appreciated this couple interaction.
It's the most honest couple in the entire movie.
Yeah, like they're gonna deal with their shit. But yeah, so that's the inciting action. And
I'm making a fucking birdhouse.
Are you seriously gonna drive stoned? Yeah, it balances out when I've been drinking. Like, what are you talking about? But yeah, so that's the inciting action, and that creates that Joel in this panic goes to this clinic. Then
And he wants to know what the fuck's everything. You know, what the fuck's this card?
And because of that, the doctor like streamlines him into the process because he knows like this. I don't know. For me, I'm like, he's looking at a lawsuit in front of him.
No, I mean, yeah, he could. Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know. Like, yeah. The rules of this science and everything is very much a thing to take with a carrot. And I think I truly believe the more you overthink a lot of the stuff with this movie, which is a fun thing to kind of discuss, I think it ruins
the magic of it.
Magic and the message.
It was the same thing with Inception, same thing with Shutter Island, same thing with Memento.
Yeah.
If you really try and like, especially when it comes to, again, mind altering and also time travel-y kind of thing. And I only say time travel-y because you are jumping around so much and you're getting these pieces in an erratic way.
Tenet, Jesus Christ.
Tenet, yeah, like the more you really try and peel apart the layers, the more you'll find wrong with it. And it's very much just got to take it for what it's worth. But I mean, because also, we haven't said it yet, visually this movie is fucking cool.
Stunning.
It's just cool.
And it's all like literally like, so Gondry being a music video director, he wanted everything as much possible to be in camera effects.
Yeah.
He got in trouble with the fucking like with the union because of like when they were like filming the beach house that was then starting to sink and whatnot. They like built the corner of that house like on the beach and whatnot, and I think like a bunch of production workers were like, this is unsafe situations, and like walked off, and then he kind of like forced everybody that was still there to continue working and like got fined super hard. And they got
more art.
Yeah, they're like if they still had more stuff to shoot for it, it would have been shut down. Like the production would have been shut down. Like it was really bad. But also I was reading about Gondry and his cinematographer arguing about a lot of stuff because he refused for there to be Gondry didn't want there to be like artificial lighting to light all the actors. He wanted everything to be natural lighting from like the sun, like, or the apartment and whatnot. And the cinematographer is like, well, we're not going to get a lot of good light if we just do shit like that. Practical lights. We want to just all practical lights. Mm-hmm. So she ended up like hiding lights in random spots to like light, certain areas that Gondry wouldn't know.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. When you're a cinematographer and
you got to work around some, some conditions.
And it's like, okay, look, either David Cross's face is in black, or I have a light right here that looks natural, that looks like it's coming off this fucking lamp, that's creating more light for him so we can see him in the shot. What do you want, Gondry? Do you want a movie or a... God damn it. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing through this movie is really just kind of like this. I mean, the journey is super fun, but like the thought of what it means to have somebody erased from your mind is very interesting. Especially just like how they just like what did I say it kind of at the beginning of this is like you can't just have this stuff erased. It's going to be something that is going to come back around to you, and you're either going to have to face it.
Well,
and,
yeah,
you know,
but it's also like with that thing too is like, well, without these, I mean, I could definitely think of times in my life this procedure probably would sound real nice.
I can think of a lot of times that'd help you out too.
Yeah, right. No, but that's the thing. It wouldn't.
I know exactly.
You know what I mean? It wouldn't, because then also you don't learn
if this thing existed in real life and you came to me saying you wanted to get this done, I would have actually tried to talk you out of it. I think
I would too. Like any friend, I'd be like, I know this is like a really like tough spot you're in right now, but you're like,
I'd be like, dude, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, but I really don't think this is a good idea.
You're gonna regret not regretting it.
Yeah.
These past actions and these things, you're like, and also you're not gonna get better.
Yeah.
From it.
Exactly.
You're not gonna grow.
It's almost like shoving shit underneath the bed.
It's emotional procrastination.
Yeah, it's like shoving stuff into the closet. It's like, I don't want to deal with that, so I'm gonna just keep shoving it in the closet. But somehow that closet has a little bit of black hole that like absorbs it kind of. But like it's still like floating. I don't know.
I thought
you know what I'm trying to. You know what
I just thought of the car and wrist cutters.
Oh man, that's a movie I don't fully remember. I just remember like moments.
Like, there's in the passenger seat, if anything falls underneath, it's like a mini black hole.
Oh yeah. And
he's like, no, it's gone. What do you mean it's gone? It's gone. If it goes under that seat, it's gone.
Because yeah. Well, okay. So really quick. So the quick jump this movie, I guess it would be like Joel. This movie starts out after his memory wipe.
Yeah, which was an interesting take. Like, so you see him also kind of going through this weird residual. Something's off. Mm-hmm. Like, he's just off. And what I thought was great too is he goes like, you see that he goes to his car, and it has that damage to it. And he's like, what?
No recollection.
He's looking around like, who did this to my car? Oh, your ex-girlfriend did.
Yeah, he runs away from work. There's like a little bit of overlap of a dialogue. What is it? When it's over voiceover. Thank you.
Yeah, voiceover.
Of like him writing in his diary, and he just by chance he wants to go to this fucking beach that he met Clementine on, and we don't fucking residual fuccking
draw
memory,
to it,
you know.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, she's fucking there as well, and they somehow end up kind of talking and hitting it off and spending kind of the day together in a strange way, and then it goes into this actual what happens. And that's when that's when the full the story of his breakup with her, and like he's getting memory erased.
It has like this whole like intro, and then it cuts to him sobbing in the car.
Yeah, that's when the credits roll.
The opening credits roll. Yeah, and then you realize as it goes on that we're like, this is when you start jumping in time, and this is the Joel that initially had already met Clementine and broken up. And then the Joel we met in the beginning was after everything that transpires when it comes to the memory erasing.
Yeah.
So it's really just jumps around, but like the key points, like Elijah Wood plays a character who works at this facility as one of like the interns, I guess. He seems like kind of on the bottom of the totem pole.
It's like, oh man, when Jim Carrey's sitting outside of Kate Winslet, or when Joel's sitting outside of Clementine's apartment, like knock on the window. This is where like the first thing you're like, that was kind of weird, is Elijah Wood's character's like, can I help you?
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And
he's
like,
just like,
what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, this is something weird here. But basically, he's using his position and Joel's things of Clementine's and his relationship to try and seduce her, which is incredibly predatory and creepy.
Yeah. Like, he also probably took stuff from her to like he took her fucking underwear, he says.
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo's
I don't want to hear this shit.
He's like, well, do you know how many like how wrong, like morally and ethically wrong that is?
I'm like, why? What do you mean? Why? And they start laughing.
I kind of took that as like Elijah Wood started laughing. I was like, oh, I got you. And Mark Ruffalo was like, oh, not fucking funny, man, but okay.
I see.
You know. They end up so Kirsten Dunst's character gets invited over for the overnight erasure party, because Ruffalo and her are dating.
So they decide to start shrinking and get stoned while they're zapping this dude's mind.
And so Clementine's having a hard time in the real life. So she's calling her boyfriend, who is Elijah Wood's character, Patrick, thank you. And he decides to go, fucking console and be a creep with her. And
what we mean too is like straight up like journal entries that Joel has written. He is like using as lines.
He's calling her Tangerine.
Yeah,
which is like Joel started calling her my sweet tangerine because she dyed her hair orange.
But now her hair's blue.
Yeah, her hair's blue. So he's clearly out of context and unaware of really what any of this means. Like, he's also he fell in love with with a woman lying on a bed, having her memory erased,
tranked
that is clearly in fucking turmoil. Like this guy's just
He's
fucking
real creep.
Garbage. Ugh. So there's like he's going off doing that. What ends up happening? So Joel's getting his mind erased, and there's a lot of great shit that I don't think we can really like go down that rabbit hole. It's way too convoluted.
It's very convoluted. It's visually very striking. It's something you just got to see. Yeah. You just need to see it to believe it.
Since he becomes lucid, he's able to then go with Clementine and escape into other parts of his memory bank, because he's trying to hold on to the memory of Clementine. That's kind of like the conflict.
Yeah, and he's like trying to put her in like almost like repressed secret memories of like humiliation and turmoil and the things you don't really actively think about. He's we're living through them going through this memory, and it was very, very cool. Yeah,
and so finally, after Mark Ruffalo and Kirsten Dunst's character, Mary and Stan. And Mary and Stan are done doing Whoopi. They realize that he's gone off the map. And so then Stan inevitably ends up having to call the doctor in. And with the doctor comes to kind of like help save the day, get him back on track. And they do. And then as the doctor's leaving, Joel goes off the map again. So the doctor's like, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to stay here all night and like help out with this because he's it's a trouble.
Yeah, and they said that he's created a resistance to the treatment.
Yeah, because also his eyes open.
Yeah.
So like the doctor's like, oh, I'm gonna have to give him a heavier tranquilizer.
Yeah.
And at some point, so then like through all of this, like Joel's like childhood's getting erased. A funny masturbation joke gets erased. And Stan kind of like Mary is clearly like just doting over the doctor. And this is when you kind of realize that she has a thing for him. And Stan kind of is like, I'm going to go. She kisses the doctor. The doctor's wife shows up.
Stan honks the horn.
True
ride or die. I'm like, I'm not getting involved in this shit.
I think it like he knew it was like, it's just like this shit. Stop it. It's like everybody stop what they're doing.
And then doctor runs outside to talk to his pissed off wife. Mary is like, it's me. I forced him into it. Yada, yada, yada. And then you hear the wife say, oh, come on. Don't be a monster. Tell the girl.
Yeah.
And then we find out that Mary has actually had this procedure done before because of the affair they already had.
You've already had him.
Keep him.
Yeah. Like, oh, that's heartbreaking.
It was intense. And at this point, Joel and Memory Clementine have kind of made their... so his projection of her has come to the realization that this is done, this is over, you're going to be erased, I'm going to try to remember you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. What? Yeah, it's such a wonderful kind of like way to... Like he's projecting this idea, like he's starting to now like use her as a crutch of support and like of coping with this. And she's like, and like, so then now it's her telling him like, well, if this is our last memory together and it's never going to exist, what did you always want to tell me? Mm-hmm. And you really get to see what Joel truly thinks of her and believes of who she is and how much he loves her.
And at this point too, so now like we're like in the actual present now for the remainder of the film, where real blue-haired Clementine and Joel, who has also had his mind erased, are now like have already met and everything like this. It shows Mary leaving the office, and then as she goes, she has this whole conversation with Stan about whether or not he was involved in her procedure and if he knew.
Yeah, no idea.
Yada,
And which,
yada, yada.
dude, poor Stan.
Yeah.
Like he's, man.
And then when she goes into her trunk, you realize that she has a bunch of case files, and as they...
Oh, yeah, because she ran back to the office trying to find her file. She tore it apart.
Yeah, and then she ended up taking a bunch of them, and as now we're back in the car with Clementine and Joel as they're driving, and she opens up this the manila folder and has the cassette tape and puts it in, and it's her interview before her erasure, which causes this fight.
Yeah, Joel's like, are you fucking with me? You're fucking with me.
And then he kicks her out of the car, goes home. She shows up to his apartment again. This weird draw, like, want to figure everything out.
This is kind of an amusing part is Joel, when he gets back to his apartment before he's getting his mind erased, he sees the Lacuna like logo in his neighbor's mail while his neighbor's picking up his mail, which is the neighbor getting his thing for Joel to never bring up Clementine again.
Oh, yeah.
But then the neighbor lets Clementine in, and he's like, oh, hey, Clementine, haven't seen you in a while. Come on in. Ha So he totally just like either didn't open his mail or just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I didn't put that together. But then she walks into his apartment and he's listening to his interview tape. And then basically they have this really nice kind of like conversation where they realize the possibility of her getting bored of him and then him getting frustrated with her is inevitable, but they'd rather try again. And
well, she's like, do you really want to do that again? And Joel's just like,
okay.
And
then they get this very sweet moment and they're both like, okay. And it alludes that they're going to try and date again.
Well, and as like they're going down the beach, what's really like an interesting like metaphor of missing scene is like there's like they kind of like run apart and run together again together, and they kind of run apart and come together again before like it fades to the credits. And it's almost symbolic, is like that's just the nature of their life, is there's going to be moments where they're apart and moments when they're together.
Yeah, but it's like, but the sad thing about, I think the kind of bittersweet thing about this is also they get this second chance and everything, but because of the fact that they have been erased, they haven't learned, so it probably is going to go down the same way. Maybe,
but they also, if I mean, this is actually a thing I never thought about before. Like, they do have the tapes to go back on to listen. Like, maybe it would be wise for them to really listen to those tapes and be like, this is how I felt at the darkest moment of our relationship, and be honest. Like, well, I really did say those things, but I don't see, like, when he says in the tape and she hears, like, and she just uses fucking people, or like holding the idea of fucking people over their head to like get them to like her, and she's like, I don't do that. Why the fuck would you say that? I don't do that.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, really, that's now a clear thing that like Joel had been probably holding in, you know, and like when he does say that in his memory, and he like realized that was a fucked up thing to say, you know. It's like, it's this thing that he had always believed, but now that it's been confronted and faced for them to both, you know, see, he can move past that thought.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The most extreme couples therapy movie of all time.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I mean,
yeah, great movie. I fucking love this movie.
Gizmo?
Yeah. This is 100% a Gizmo for me.
So that means like a 9 out of 10. Because in a 10 out of 10 Rambo, or we're not doing that?
I don't think we're doing Rambo.
Okay. So,
but
10 out of 10.
I would say this is like more of a 9 out of 10. I mean,
I'll give it an 8. It's still, that's still going to be like a Gizmo.
Did you like it more this time watching it? Because you said last week that you never really liked it.
Yeah, I liked it more, but it's also, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 because now that I've seen it, I'm probably not going to watch it for a very long time.
Yeah, it's not really a movie you want to watch a lot very often.
And I've already watched it twice to really.
But I mean, like, because like,
for this episode,
would you say you like it now? Like,
yeah, like it's definitely, I would, if you haven't seen it, I would definitely watch it.
Yeah.
Just even like, and especially if you've been listening to us at all, I'm very much a visual person, and visually this movie is really cool, and it does a lot of really cool little like, and it being very, and also being a visual person, I like things that aren't CG. And
Yeah.
these are a lot of very practical kind of effects they
Yes.
did, which was really cool.
Like when everything's erasing in the library with their final like kind of memory in his mind is such just it's so visually captivating and subtle and emotional, it's just a very emotional moment.
Yeah, and like the lighting's really cool. Like when there's a scene where they're on a frozen lake and they're like it's a spotlight that he's trying to get out of because that's them looking for him.
Yeah.
To delete the memory and everything. Yeah, it's just visually really really cool, and it is depressing, but not in a.
It's depressing in an uplifting way.
Yeah, like you said in the beginning, it's weird. It is depressing, but it's not like, well, no, I hate my life. It's not like that. It's very interesting.
It's just because it's just such a real feeling. It's a real desire.
Yeah.
It's a thing that we have all felt that, we've all wanted and we've kind of all experienced. So it's relatable in such a great way. That's in such a movie that's so very original.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely
Great job, Kaufman. Charlie Kaufman, I really like Charlie Kaufman. I want to watch more of his stuff because everything I've seen from him has been like just fucking amazing for me.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely I would put this on the suggested watch list if you haven't gotten around to it yet.
Word.
Okay.
That's nice. Nice.
That was a long one.
No, not really.
Really?
We're only at 82.
It felt long. Maybe it's just
It's been about as long as the last couple.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. Please like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff, and
also, but I meant to say this at the beginning. I'm going to say this at the beginning of the next one. If you guys, we have our Instagram. If you don't follow us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram because we also do other posts of like video game stuff or other movies that we watch.
That's true. Yeah.
So,
TJ's mixtape, Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Yeah, we do like little what we call mini tapes where we do like little reviews of like more current stuff or our top of video games, movies. And also, if you don't mind, if you could rate us on Spotify, they now have a 5-star rating system where you just leave stars. So if you want to go ahead and put a rating on there, that would help us out greatly.
Yeah, thank you.
So thank you very much. Thanks for listening. This is Tommy.
And this is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.